A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
All about Faith, this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Mokwena. I am your host, and this is the place where we could speak about this thing that we love, man. Ipola that we love, this football thing. Okay, so I know. Today I want to speak about something, but before I get into that, welcome everybody. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Fridays at 12:30, and you can watch any of the previous episodes. They are available in full on YouTube. We've had some incredible conversations over some years here. There are some people that you see in the comments that have been following this show since it was me, one man, speaking for 2 hours. I didn't know how to bring in guests and all of that, right? Those episodes might not be available, but I have tons of them that are available there on YouTube for you to watch. It's not just reviews of matches. We also speak about burning topics, interesting things. It's a very engaging place. If you want to also engage live, because if you've ever listened to the show, there's voices during the show that answer questions and speak. Those voices come from TikTok. So you have to go over to TikTok, click on follow, and then there'll come a time where I will say I'm opening up the lines, and at the bottom of your screen there'll be a button that appears that says multi-guest. It's got a blue figure hugging a pink figure. You click on that, you request, and you can add your voice to the show live, which is one of the key things of this show. I created this platform so that we can have conversations together that aren't pre-produced with analysts and bang and former coaches. It's a place where we can speak live about how we feel about certain issues and things around the game. Now, it's a very South Africa-based show, right? Not gonna lie to you, but I keep promising you guys that I will open up and we'll start doing international football more. So what better at the end of the season to pay for my sins for not covering the EPL? What better way than for us to sit down and have a conversation about the EPL itself, and then next season, I promise I'll dedicate one day to one episode every week to the EPL. I know people like Botebs have been crying about this, so let's see. Okay, guys. Okay. Wait a second. What's happening there? Hang on. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Okay, there we go. That is the topic for today. Is the EPL still exciting, guys? Is it still exciting? Is it still something that we can watch and say that we're still, all the way in? Man City have just won their fourth title their fourth title in a row, and I believe it's their seventh title of 8, right? That is incredible. But does that mean it's becoming a farmers league? Does it mean that we're going to see Arsenal jump in every now and then and jump back out? Are we going to see them changing places at number 2, but nobody actually going up to number 1 and actually taking it? What does this mean about Champions League and things like that? Is the EPL the league that we think it is? Or is it just branding that has got it? So this is what we're going to speak about today. Let me just read some of the comments before I open up. One day you'll get a call up at a sports event for free. That would be nice. Because it says, Mola Brauti, how are you, Nkosi? Eddie, welcome. Peko, I'm good. Alejandro, Aneslot. Hey, okay. Okay, so we'll speak about that, and we'll also speak about some of the things that are happening that side. As Alejandro Ntangawona has said there in the comments, we know that Klopp is leaving. So when Klopp are also leaving, who's going to fight Pep for the long term? And are people like Bo Arteta up to it? These are all questions that I want to ask today. So let me not waste any more time. I'm going to open it up. then we can start there. Guys, I promise next season we're going to cover a lot of those. Eddie today, hey Eddie, don't jinx me. Hey Nani, don't jinx me. Guys, the lines are open. Feel free to request. Bottom of your screen, there's a button that says multi-guest. Click on it. I let you in. We have the conversation. You join the panel live. So let's see what the guys have to speak about today. Let's see who's here. Mr. C says, Aish. Mr. T says, Aish, EPL. Hey! Let's see. Agent, my brother, how are you?
I'm good, eh? Better talk about us, eh? You still owe us. We won the league, okay? 7 times. Or did I miss it?
I get it. You guys were going to speak about it tomorrow in the build-up to your game versus Pirates.
No, that is separate matters, man. That is separate matters. But
okay.
We'll come back to it. Win 7 times. The respect.
Tell me, Agent. Is the EPL still exciting? Is the EPL still? Does it get your blood going in the morning when you think about the matches?
It is, to be honest. Still exciting. Obviously, we know who the winners will always be, but at least there's someone challenging. Unlike this side.
Okay.
And obviously, I can watch a Burnley versus a Brighton.
Okay.
I doubt I can watch, to be honest, Cape Town Spurs and maybe Richards Bay playing. It's not the same. That's
unfair.
I know. I'm using the front of the show for
you're
for a reason.
Hey.
But again, I think, as always say, PR is the biggest thing in this business. They know what to put out there and they know what not to put out there. The narrative for the longest of times was the reason why Bundesliga, Liga, Farmers Leagues, was because the same teams were winning the league over and over again.
Yeah.
That was the narrative. And then it happens in EPL, then they flip the narrative and say, but it's still exciting because there's someone challenging or the football is still exciting, So they must have this thing called PR, So I think it's a thing that we can learn from the English, that you have to package your product.
Oh, wait. Sorry about that, yes.
Yeah, just that ability to package your product and make it sellable and to make people believe it, because that's all it takes, to make people believe that this is the best thing that have ever happened, And is EPL exciting more than what is this team? La Liga? I don't necessarily think so, but because they've put it in our faces, it's everywhere. Everyone obviously watches EPL more than La Liga, So I think it may not still be exciting, but because of the stories behind it, because of the packaging behind it, it still seems exciting to me, just purely based on what I'm being fed.
Yeah.
I don't know how objective that is, but because of what I'm being fed, it looks exciting. Yeah.
But then when we look at it, like if we look at, for example, next season there's no Klopp anymore. We'll see what Slot does when he comes in. For example, we know Ten Hag in the league. Hey, he'll win you a cup, Shem. He'll get you some cups, but the league seems to be a bit tough. Arsenal is going to have to be incredible in order to try chase down Man City for the 3rd year running. Do you think that the future of the EPL looks a bit brighter? Do you think that there is worthy contenders that are going to come up in the horizon? Or are we going to watch 2-horse races up until?
Firstly, the problem that I've noticed recently is everyone is looking for the next Pep, If you work with Pep, if you're bald, you're going to get a team to coach, and everyone is going to play like that.
Yeah.
So you can't win against a team that has mastered a certain system. You come with your own system,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one way to try end City's dominance. If you want to go pound for pound with them on that system, they'll always beat you, you know.
Yeah.
But excuse me, to your question, you know, we just got off an era of Messi versus Ronaldo, where they used to put in crazy numbers year in and year out, and the moment they leave, people start to think, but a Ballon d'Or winner with 20 goals and 15 assists, that's not good enough, you know.
Yeah.
What we missed was this was just two extraordinary players, you know. So I feel that Pep is gonna leave. I hear next season. Then I feel like the competition is gonna normalize back again to what it was. You know, I don't think it will take another 98 years. 98 points to win the league. You know, I think it's gonna come back to 80s and 70s like it used to. You know, we're just dealing with a freak of a team. You know, and to be honest, you guys are going to improve, and they'll improve more. You know, so the gap will always exist. You know, especially if you're going to be an Arteta and understudy of Pep, he's always going to be one step ahead of you in terms of quality, in terms of tactics. So for me, not to sound like Kaizer, we have to wait for Pep to leave. Otherwise, it's chai.
Sounds like a farmers league to me.
Have a good day, man.
Sounds like a farmers league to me. Let me go to Alejandro. Alejandro, my brother. Oh, sorry. Alejandro, my brother, how are you?
Oh, no, slot. La 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 la. How's the routine?
Hey. Let me tell you a slot on you. But before I get into slot, let me first ask you the question that is up here. Is the EPL still exciting?
It is exciting, my brother. Just that EPL and its fans, they are filled of complaints. Like Barato complain, they like to complain a lot. Let me tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
One speaker here said you can easily watch Brighton and Crystal Palace play, one understand? Because of what? It is exciting, one understand? You can watch the lower team play because it's exciting. One understand? One of they've got this thing called the gold rush, you know, where you would have 7 or 8 teams playing, one understand? You find out who the Bournemouth are playing with Nottingham Forest, you see 6 goals from there. If some of the Crystal Palace are playing with Wolves, you'll see 4 goals from there. What do we want? The only people that are complaining, number one, are the people that are facing Manchester United, Arsenal, sometimes my friends Liverpool. The people that are saying that are favoring the top teams. Because whether you like it or not, we don't like it when Pep wins the trophy like this. We don't like it. So we complain and say it's not exciting because we are not getting our way. When Manchester United was winning all these trophies, when they were the ones breaking records, no one was saying anything, my brother. Everyone was keeping quiet. Everyone was saying, hey, Manchester, Alex Ferguson, the best team in the world. Now Pep is doing wonders with Man City, especially Man City, a team that's younger than most of the teams in the EPL. Now Pep is doing wonders with Man City. All of a sudden, oh no, it's boring. Nah, it's not boring. It's still exciting, my brother. It's 110% still exciting. Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal fans, we like to complain a lot, my brother. The only thing that I want to happen in the APL is for Man City to get it or they are guilty. That's the only thing that I want the PEPL to sort out. But except from complaining about Pep winning trophies, like why must we complain, my brother? He's doing his job. It's not our fault that our teams they don't want to contribute, they don't want to buy players. And then people talk about Pep spending so much money. Have you seen what's the team that has been spending so much money? It's Manchester United. It's right there. And the same people who can buy a player for 100 million, 80 million are complaining and saying, Man City is ruining football. EPL is still entertaining, my brother. 110% still entertaining. It's just the fans of the top teams. They are not getting their way. Like, look at now. Arsenal fans, they are complaining. Manchester United fans, they are complaining. It's because they are not getting their way. Okay, so is it gonna be okay? Let's say, for example, Man City get its form back. Man United get their form back, and then they start winning seven league titles. So are we gonna call that normal? because Ferguson was doing that. Ferguson was doing back-to-back titles. No one was saying anything. The EPL was still exciting back then, but now because it's Man City, a team that no one thought they could reach that level, all of a sudden it's not exciting. It's not exciting, Brian. People
But
think
to be
for you to
fair-
win the league, you must beat Man City. No. You can win the league without beating Man City.
But to be fair, Leandro, I mean, back then, 98 points wasn't something they'd even dream of. Even Sir Alex Ferguson himself, I don't think he'd ever imagine himself getting more than, I'd say, 80 points, right? He used to win them. He won them a lot, but it was, about 2 years, and then another team will win 2 years, and then maybe he'd come back and win 2, and maybe they'd go 1 for 1. It's not the same as 4 in a row, 7 in 8 years.
There's nothing wrong with it, Brian. Well, let me put it like this, my brother. No? EPL, it's not filled with hardworking coaches. Like, they don't have hardworking teams. People want to be lazy. They don't want to adjust to the new reality. Let me tell you something. You said something about back then you would win it with 80 points, 70 points, stuff like that. But now you have to go all over. You have to go for 90 points, 99, like 100 points. Like, because football is changing, my brother. Teams are getting better. For you to win a league now, you must win. You don't have to beat Man City to do that, but you can win your games. It doesn't matter, Brian. So now, what are we saying? That's why I'm saying now it's more exciting than ever. Because now at least you know that for you to beat Man City, you must accumulate 90 plus points. You know now when you have 70 points, it's not enough. You must accumulate something like 90 points going upward. Back then, Brian, I say Alex Ferguson knew I can get 8 points and then the league is over. Understand? So many teams are competing now, Brian. It's just that the bottom team will still, the bottom team will still donate points to the top teams. But now I don't see anything with Man City. What Man City do, my brother? It's just bitter fans who are fans of Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Man City is doing the best. We will see after Arteta. Let me tell you something, Otine. If EPL, those who watch EPL, start to say EPL is entertaining, when UPEP leaves, then I will know people that watch EPL, they don't like when they have someone that's good at something. If people start, what I know, Pep said that he's leaving after next season. If Man City and Pep separate next season, and then after that Arteta wins the league, and then they're saying, best league in the world, because they are winning trophies. I would say they are hypocrites, my brother. People don't hate Man City. People hate Pep Guardiola, my brother. And whether you like it or not, that is the best.
For time. I want to come back.
That's my two cents, though.
I want to come back. I want to ask you specifically about your team. Let me go to Zola. Zola, welcome to the show. How are you? Let me see if I can help Zola out there. There we go. Zola, welcome to the show.
I'm good. Where?
Zola, tell me, what do you think about this question?
No, EPL is the same as PSL because these days it's only 2 teams: Sundowns and Pirates. In EPL it's Arsenal and Man City. Liverpool is just there. But we know that Arsenal is going to be number 1 until the season ends, and then they just remove them. Always. The last game, they always lose the league after. So EPL is like Sundowns. It's same like Sundowns and hey, how am I saying that? EPL is the same as PSL. It's only one man that is winning. Same. This side is Sundowns, always winning the league. In EPL, it's always Man City. So there's no competition anymore.
But then does it make it better?
Because
does it make it seem a bit better?
No, it's not even.
if there's someone close to them, unlike when I hear where Sundowns is winning by 22 points. At least that side, there's someone, man, who's there 2 points away.
Yeah, at least that side is exciting, but we know that Arsenal is gonna lead their race always, but they don't win anything. They promise, but they don't win the league.
Yeah.
At least that side is exciting, yeah, because it's Arsenal and Liverpool. They're always giving their best, but Man City always come on top. So EPL is exciting than PSL because here it's only one man race. Sundowns is taking everything in PSL. So EPL, this is better.
So then why aren't we calling the EPL a farmers league? Didn't we say these same things about League One, La Liga? La Liga is a 2-horse race most of the time, sometimes 3 with Atletico, and we say it's a farmers league. In France, PSG wins, and you have the other guys in and around, but it's mostly PSG. Why don't we call the EPL a farmers league?
I don't know. But it's the same. It's obvious now. Before even started that, we know that Man City is gonna win the league. So that's why it's a farmers league. Because same like here in the South Africa, that we know that before even the league starts, Sundowns is gonna take it. Only in Africa, when they're playing CAF, that we know that they're gonna get competition. Because here in SA, they bought all the best players. They are playing for only Sundowns.
Yeah.
If they see a player that is playing on Kaizer Chiefs, they buy it. If they see a player that is playing on Stellenbosch, they buy it. If they see a best player in Royals, they buy that player and bench them so that they won't have a competition. They only so that's the problem. Even remember, they say Rulani is the best coach in South Africa, but he's not the best coach. Remember, Rulani. I was listening to Metro FM. He was talking with Andile. He said he got offers to go to Egypt. But he refused because he know that if you go to Egypt, he was going to get competition because the players are playing.
Speaking about EPL.
No, I'm not.
I was speaking about EPL.
Okay.
I'll come back, Zola. I'll come back. I'll come back. Let me go to Mr. T. Mr. T, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Zed.
Sharp, Mr. T. Mr. T, the question is very simple. Is the EPL still exciting?
You'll never walk alone. Yeah, it is still exciting for me because if we can be that close for number 2 chasing the league, because you can't just say from the word go like Ara said, you know who's gonna win the league. I mean, it was a close call. Even last season they were close. Just that luck was not on the Arsenal side. But I think again, in disappointing, just that those coaches that like for Chelsea, that guy I think is gone, and Chelsea was coming, okay, and then
Pochettino,
Klopp is gone, and I think there were people that they were giving Man City a tough time because probably the way I watched Chelsea, they were coming all right, and now they fired the guy. I don't know why. And then there's which one? This one for Menu. Which Menu next season they're gonna start from scratch again and building a team.
Okay.
That's something that gives Man City an opportunity because Man City have been with Pep Guardiola for how long? Past 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, so for him it's only to change the players and then add more younger players on his team, and then he's still gonna continue in the league. But the IPL is still exciting for me. It's not a famous league yet.
But what would make it a famous league? Because the way I see it right now, Manchester City have won 7 of 8 league titles. They only missed out on that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
year Liverpool in the past 8 years. Right now, it looks great when you look at Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool. 91 points, 89 points, 82 points. But then number 4 is what? 68 points. So 14 points behind. 23 points behind Man City. Are we glorifying the top half or the top, quarter of the EPL, and we're not really taking care for, your Bournemouths, your Wolves, your Brentfords? They also form part of this league. Is that why maybe we don't look at it the same way?
Yeah, maybe I think it's that, but because most of the time, the team that you look at, the top 4, especially for Champions League and everything, the others they're playing, even Burnley, the Burnley were playing good. I don't know, they couldn't score.
Yeah.
The way they were playing, I was impressed, but something I don't understand. They couldn't even hit them. Something that makes them to not relegate them. But they play good football. Like Brentford, it's a West Ham. They were playing good football. I don't know what happened. That's what I'm saying. Like that four that we are talking about, I'm kind of disappointed of the decisions that were made during this season, especially that guy from Chelsea. That's not that joke. I don't know. I was waiting for something, but I was hoping us not to insult
Mr. T?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it just
Yeah, I know.
cut there. Okay. Let me bring in Unape. Nape, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Nape, I'm hearing people. I'm hearing is that this is a farmers league, man. All I'm hearing is, City wins all the time. You can predict that Arsenal's gonna drop out at this time. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do this. Doesn't that make it a farmers league? Is it still exciting?
For me, I would say like the game has evolved because saying that I don't know. For me, like it's not exciting anymore. I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah, there's I think is it Ilandro? So he said something like back in the days, Manchester United was winning everything.
Yeah.
But if you go back to those games, they were interesting. Like you wouldn't want to miss a Manchester United game. You would want to see Cristiano Ronaldo. You'd want to see Ryan Giggs and those guys. So they had that. They were not playing tiki taka. It was based on raw talent.
Okay.
So nowadays it's more like we are watching manufactured football.
Okay.
And for me, it's okay. Yeah, it's more interesting, but it doesn't have that X factor, man. It doesn't have that thing.
Yeah.
It's more predictable. It's more predictable. For example, you can we do bet ways. So on Betway on Betway you can always go straight win with Man City, but back then you wouldn't. There was a team that came through in 20 was it 2016 2017 season. What was this
Leicester.
team?
Leicester City when they
The
won
one
in
that took
2015.
Leicester City, yes. They came from nowhere. They didn't have rules. You could see their game. You couldn't point anyone who was a star except Jimmy Vardy. The only person that we remember from those games was Jimmy Vardy because he was scoring goals. And then the rest, they just came up later on. Abo Kante, Abo Harry Maguire, and those other guys.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, the game is exciting when it's like that, when you can't predict what's going to happen. So, but then now, when coming to EPL, I can agree that
it's turning into Farmers League because it's too obvious. It's way too obvious for me. Like we need some exciting. It's like PC the same as home here when we have our PSL. Our PSL it's like that nowadays. It's like that. So you can just see that, oh, okay, these three teams are going to fight for number 2. Then we leave out number 1 completely.
Yeah.
So for me, you can't say that it's exciting. What's exciting about that? So I think like the game turned into, it's more the modern game. It's more tactical, and the other thing, it's no more personal. Like no game is personal nowadays. Everyone is friendly. Back in the days, they were going to kick you the whole day. You can watch Cristiano Ronaldo's videos. They are going to kick you. Like you can see that it had that thing.
Okay.
Like the game between Sundowns and TS Galaxy.
Yeah.
Those games are the ones that I'm looking for.
Okay.
We can't be here sitting here and being friends and, well, come on, man. We can be friends after the game. Now let's go. Let's give people something. Let's entertain people. So for me the game nowadays, yeah.
No, for time
it's too modern for me.
Let me go to
Okay.
Let me go to Alejandro. Alejandro, I've got 2 questions for you. Number 1, we were speaking about somebody mentioned Messi and Ronaldo and their time and what their time meant and all of that stuff. You could argue that's the same for Pep and Klopp. Now, if I am a team like a Newcastle, somebody mentioned Newcastle in the comments, I want to get rid of Eddie Howe, let's say, and I need to bring in another superstar coach. Which coaches in the world could stand up to this Pep or could be a Pep in the English Premiership right now? Do we have that caliber of coach in the league? And then number 2, your team. Tell me a little bit about what's happening and your hopes for it. You're not the only YNWA one here.
All right, my brother. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I think it's high time that people must accept that Pep is one of the best coaches ever. For me, it's Pep and then it's Carlo Ancelotti. You understand? So it's high time that people understand what Pep is doing and what he has done and what he's doing has made him that clear. You understand, my brother?
Yeah.
A simple thing, Brian. Like now, check what he has done. When Man City is playing Champions League, if I ask you, how far do you think Man City will go in the Champions League? I know definitely that in your mind you're gonna say semi-final. That's how good Man City are now. You understand? So Man City took, so Man City took the football of EPL. It was down. I don't wanna lie. The football level of EPL was down. That's why they were not winning so many European championships. If you can check, the only team that won European championships, like UEFA Champions League, the only team that has won so many European Champions Leagues, it's me, Baba. I've got 6 Champions Leagues. You understand? So it shows that the level of Premier League was down. Pep came and he showed us what he was doing at Spain. He showed us what he was doing at Spain, Brian. And then he took the Champions League to a level that they have never seen. The reason why so many people are saying, well, this is not fun anymore, is because they are not used to this kind of domination. Pep is dominating, my brother. So it's high time that we accept it. Pep is one of the best. And for the fact that Manchester United fans are the ones that are complaining too much, it shows that Pep is better than, say, Alex Ferguson. That's it. That's what I'm saying. I'm declaring. I'm saying. And then when it comes to my team, my brother, honestly speaking, I like the new coach. I saw how he plays, but next season I'm not putting myself in the title challenge. because so many players are gonna leave, so many players are gonna be coming in. So maybe top four, I'm pretty much confident that I'm gonna get it. But when it comes to competing, I'm not gonna be competing in the what's it called, the Premier League. I think
But
next season is
Alejandro,
gonna be
but
between
Alejandro,
Arsenal and Man City. Again,
but Alejandro, how do you replace a club? Isn't it going to be a situation for Ahly, this Ahly slot that he's going to step into? He's going to be like Moyes stepping in after Ferguson. You may be a good coach. Ahly slot may be an amazing coach, but I think Jurgen Klopp was a little bit bigger than just the coach that Liverpool. How do you gain control of that as a new coach there?
Honestly speaking, if I'm not being, I'm being honest, I'm not being biased. I believe that he's not gonna succeed at Liverpool. I believe that is one of the. That's why they did not even give him a long-term contract. I think they're still trying to experiment to get another coach like Klopp. Klopp is one of the kind, my brother. We can't argue about that. So I think now he's not gonna actually succeed. I think Liverpool are gonna be competing for top four at this moment. I won't lie. I don't see him competing with Upep. Like I said, Upep has raised the bar, Brian. He's that good. So he's better than say, Ferguson, and he's also better than Carlo Ancelotti. So he has made it. So I believe what Arne Slot will be, whether I like it or not, it's gonna be like an Arteta kind of coach. He's gonna be chasing Pep. Maybe we'll see a competition, a healthy competition, with peers. Because Arteta maybe and Arteta, the new manager at Chelsea, and then Arne Slot. Maybe there will be peers next year or when the next season when Pep leaves. That's where maybe they will start to compete with one another, and then they will declare who's the team of the Premier League. But at this moment, I just think that Arne Slot, when I'm not standing up for my team, I just think that is that coach that will get us into top four, win a couple of big games, and then maybe quarterfinal if UEFA Champions League. I don't see him doing what Klopp has done, bruh. We did not win so many trophies with Klopp. We won every single trophy but once. But I want to see him taking us to the semi-final, to the final. Even with Klopp, we lost two finals to Madrid. But Brian, at least he kept us. He made us have hope, Brian. He made Liverpool become the Liverpool that we have right now. But this one, my brother, I still think that he's going to struggle, brother. Do I see him as a coach like Klopp? Not at this moment, my brother. I'm waiting for him to play 15 games. I want to see his mentality and everything. Because everybody was saying what I was saying when Klopp came to Liverpool. When Brendan Rodgers was leaving, people said, Klopp is going to flop, and he did not flop at Liverpool. So, but now I want him to prove me wrong, my brother. And then going back to one point, we must accept it. Upepe is a god, bruh, in Premier League. When he walks up to you, you should kneel down. He's that good. When he walks up to you, you should kneel down. People complain about money, Brian. Let me tell you something. There's a reason between being accused of something and being found guilty of something. City, the charges that they face, 115 charges, they have not been found guilty. So what will happen if they say that no, City are innocent? Are we still gonna say what we're saying now?
Time, Elendro, time.
No.
For time's sake, I hear you, my brother. But for time's sake, even I have to try to get another panel in. G-Man Mohale, Pat, I'd written Unam down and Stembinkosi down. So guys, request again. I'm gonna do a new panel. Mr. T. Mr. T, are you with me?
Hey, Tara.
I want to ask you.
Yeah, I'm here.
How do you follow Pep? How do you follow a club? Do we know the coaches who are going to come in and fight these big battles? So let's say Newcastle is looking for a coach. Who do you bring in that can possibly come in and fight with Pep? Because I don't know if the caliber of manager, I don't know if we have standout managers like that anymore.
Um, I think Shabi Alonso. For me, yeah, he can lead. Yeah, Shabi Alonso's got potential. Even I don't want to put that guy for Real Madrid, but yeah, those are the people for now for me that they can give challenge to Pep. But even the guy that is coming through for Liverpool, only if he can win that dressing room first,
Yeah.
maybe there will be competition towards Pep. But
Okay.
I have to admit, Pep is good. But I think most of the coaches that will come through, you need to own that dressing room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you've got mental of players in the right place, then they can give you something. Because what I've realized about Pep, he always have this thing above his players. There's no player that is above Pep. It's either Pep or you leave. Do you understand? That's the respect. Because if I can tell you from there are some players that we thought they would never leave Man City. That guy went for Barcelona and Cancelo. So do you understand?
Yeah,
He can
yeah.
put his foot down. That's one of the things that make him exceptional when it comes to players.
Okay. But
So-
then let me ask you. Here's the Liverpool situation. Arne Slot is stepping in. How do you follow a coach like a Klopp? How, when Pep leaves in apparently next year, when he leaves after next season, how do you follow a Pep and walk into a team? Are you not setting yourself up for failure? This Arne Slot, for example.
Hence I'm saying that guy, you see when you leave somebody, when you take over from somebody's like Klopp, I think it's better to always get an advice from him, or don't try to change everything that was there. You understand?
Yeah. Okay, Mr. T,
'Cause
tell me about your team. What team do you support that side? And what do you think about your season and
So
your future?
for me, he's gonna be that guy.
I think we've got a bit of a delay there.
Liverpool
I think we've got a bit of a delay.
this year or last. Yeah, the network is bad, you know.
Let's say this season, and then your thoughts about
let,
going
let,
forward.
let me Casey, put another one. My network is bad because now he's coming back after.
Thank you, Mr. T. Let me go to Nape. To close this off, do we still have superstar coaches to the level of your Peps, to the level of your clubs? And who are these guys?
For me, Mr. OT, it's hard. I think Pep made it difficult for everyone, because if you check, everyone is trying to get that, because the let's say the blueprint for Pep is there. It's right there. You can see it every game. It's not hidden. Those guys, they can see it, but nobody can excuse. Yeah, it's so. I think this guy from what is this team? Brighton.
Okay.
He looks good. He looks good, but then I realized that Pep's tactics are not that bad. You can copy them. The problem is the consistency. Can you be consistent with that?
Yeah.
Can you keep on doing that up until you get a goal? Because they can share the ball forever. They don't give up. So the problem is that, can you get the team to have that mentality, the whole team?
Yeah.
Because in most teams you can see that they are doing that, and then there's that one player that thinks he's bigger than the team, then we'll just start running with the ball everywhere. So the previous guy just said something about winning the dressing room, where you can put your foot down, that saying that, you know, guys, I need all of you to have this mentality. You understand? Because I can see the Arteta, when coming to Arteta, you see a lot of changes in some players. Players like Saka. Saka, we know he can dribble. But nowadays it's more like there's time to dribble, not every time. So most coaches are failing at putting that into the player's mind. So I think that's the most challenging part. That's the most challenging part. So, but then for now, Pep made it difficult. We only there are few. There are very, very few. There are very, very few. Xavi is one of the people who can.
Yeah.
Who can? So he's one of the contenders. So, but then when I check the EPL, I don't know. But as soon as they try to defend Pep, I think they can do it. Most of them.
Okay.
Because lately, if you check Pep, he's not scoring a lot of goals. He's 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. It's no longer scoring 4 or 5. So if ever they can defend like that, then they can translate that defense into play. Then I think maybe the league will be more better. Yeah.
No, Nape. Thank you so much for joining me. Look, guys, this is just the chat. Before I let in the second panel, this is the chat. It's very simple. If you guys were saying that PSG winning every year makes the French league a farmers league, if you guys were saying that La Liga having Barcelona, Real Madrid win that thing every year makes it a farmers league, saying Germany having I believe Bayern Munich won it 11 times in a row before this year, right, makes it a farmers league. Why is it that now that we're sitting with 4 years in a row of this City team winning the league, what is it, 7 of 8 since Pep has taken over? So essentially they would have had 8 in a row, if not for the 1 year where Liverpool got to beat them by 1, right? Why then do we not speak about this EPL as being a farmers league? Why do we still view it as being exciting? And I also want us to speak about the excitingness of it. I know it's exciting at the top or near the top. Aston Villa finished the season number 4 with 68 points. 68 points. 14 behind Liverpool, 21 behind Arsenal, and then 23 behind Man City. That's number 4 in the Premier League. 23 points from number 1. That means that for them to have caught Liverpool, they would need what? 14. That's 4 wins and 2 draws, while Liverpool lost all their games. Are we glorifying the league too much? Is it on a pedestal a little bit too much than maybe it should be? Or is it correct to be there? That is what we're speaking about today, more than anything else. But let me let in the guys. And we can carry on speaking about this. Apologies, guys, I'm still a little bit sick, so I might cough every now and then. That's just because of the last bit of this flu that I'm fighting off. Mohale, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Welcome.
I'm good, man.
Tell me, Mohale, what do you think about this topic? Is the EPL still exciting? Is it a farmers league? What is your take on this?
EPL still exciting. So my 2 cents is that EPL is becoming more controlled by money in a way. If you think about it, Man City bought their way to the top. If you are honest, if you are being honest,
Yeah.
and then now Newcastle is doing the same thing. Sorry for that. So Newcastle is doing the same thing. Chelsea is just trying to do the same thing. So to me, it's all about having a proper structure and having money. And then, as we know, EPL is the most advertised league in the world.
Yeah.
So obviously, money is going to be a huge contributor to the success of the league from now on.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's still interesting because any team can beat any team at any time.
Yeah.
Unlike any other leagues, you know that in for example in Spain, it's very hard for number 14 to beat number 1. It doesn't happen too often. But in EPL, we still have those interesting games. For example, what Brentford against Man City. Brentford is number 13, but Man City was number 1. But it was a very tight game. Yeah. So that's basically my 2 cents.
But Sundowns plays Cape Town City and it's a tight 0-0. They come back and they draw. Why do we look at our league differently?
I mean, there's a lot behind that as well. I mean, but to be honest, the same thing is happening to our football as well. Sundowns is dominating the football because it has money and proper structure. And then that proper structure, for it to work, it needs money. So it's the same thing. Just check, Sundowns never struggles to get a player. So they can get any player. If they say 35 million, what's 35 million to Sundowns? They just paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. So money is a huge contributor nowadays, and then we should get used to that.
Can I ask you something? In the previous panel, somebody mentioned that, back then, Manchester United were doing things and all of that. Is some of how we view these leagues and these teams, is it maybe that we see them more as systems than as teams? So, for example, Chiefs wins the league in 2003, and you can point to Abo Mahlangu, Tawupule, and they're very flashy and whatever, and it's a lot of personality that wins you the league. Whereas with these new teams, it's it's a system. It's you come into Pep's system, whether you're incredible or not, you come into the system and you're part of the system. You come into Mamelodi Sundowns, it doesn't matter whether you're a lodge, you are now a system player. Is that something that maybe makes us view the football as less entertaining? I don't know if that makes sense.
I guess it all depends on what you believe in. So my background is in technology, so I'll be interested in the current football because it is a lot. So that's why we view it as a system. For example, nowadays you use data analysis for everything. You analyze how your players moved the other games, and then how do you want to rest them, and then how do rest affect them in a way. It's just a lot of aspects that are getting together, and it's all about technology in a way, which makes it more of a system than the traditional football.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a good thing, but it kind of what is it? Irritima the real football, isn't like we don't get to see the raw talent to its fullest,
Yeah. Okay. I'll come back. Let me bring in Untozake. Untozake, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
Hey, siyaphila hey. Ngathi ungangcono kwi-flu lapho nawe uyayishonela.
Hey. Mara ngiyazama.
Hey, COVID.
Ungasho nje. Hey. Tell me, Tozake, is the EPL still exciting?
Yeah, it's still exciting, Maybe if the city is still competitive, then Bessinga come out with another dimension. You know?
Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
when we say it's exciting, we're looking at the whole league from the top teams to the last teams. You know, how are the games? Is it still exciting when you watch Newcastle play against West Ham?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is a very good game. It's a nice game. Pound for pound, they match each other. So it has always been a case of having a top six. Ibona years and a top six count. We've got a team as Swabis and a top six. It didn't start 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 8 years ago, they had what we call it top six, meaning in their history, there were teams that were dominating, and it was about 6 teams that were dominating. Then you've got these other clubs who are causing havoc on the middle. Then you've got this lower club. What makes it exciting is that you've got more games that are more competitive, which are not obvious across the whole league. So, for instance, in a week you might find Arsenal playing against Chelsea, and next week you find Manchester City playing against Manchester United. Those are most competitive and exciting games for the viewers, you know. And you go in the mid-league group, you find Newcastle playing against West Ham, Everton against Crystal Palace. It's exciting because you want to see who's going to go to the top 10, who's qualifying for Europa League and Conference League. And then again, there's a high competition with relegation zone. You know, you are not sure which team is going to be relegated. It's only this season where it was just obvious. But all along, the competition is still exciting because when you're looking at the clubs that are avoiding relegation, you can still see that passion, you can still see that fight, and that respect towards the fan and everything. So it still clue you to the TV because you're not sure of the result on saying which team is going to be relegated, which team is going to qualify for Conference League or Europa League, which team is going to qualify for Champions League football. You know, it still brings that headache each and every season. What it lacks now, it's a competition at the top. You know, the excitement is still there across the whole league. It just lacks the competition at the top. But now you've got this bully. Not purely because of money and stuff, because they've set the bar high to say if you want to win the league, you must win 20 games in a row. You know, so now each and every team must follow those footsteps, and they know these teams now. If we want to catch up with these people, we have to be consistent. It's consistency that kills our team, and it's what Sundowns is showing us. Be consistent across the whole year, then you'll get the league. It's not that Man City lose. They do lose games, but it's consistent to say, if I'm playing, look at this season. Okay, top 6, I don't think they've got even, against top 4, let's move out Tottenham. They won against Tottenham. But with Arsenal, they got 1 point. Against Man U, I think it was 3 points or 1 point, I'm not sure. Against Chelsea, it's 2 points. They did not get maximum points against the top 6, you know, but they still won the league. They still won the league because when they are playing with the teams who are on a low picking odd, they get the points. And they struggle when they are playing with the team that we call them a top 6. And it should be like that, you know. And that's what brings competition. The competition is still there. It's just that Man City has what we call a consistency. And they know if we're playing with West Ham, we're going to beat you. But the game is still there with EPL. It's still exciting from the top 2 up until the last teams which are avoiding relegation. Still exciting, just less competition at the top.
But then, can I make the argument, Guti? Now, Man City, as much as we say there's so much competition and it looks great, excuse me, Man City is just winning every year, and then every couple of years there'll be a new team that steps up. So Arsenal is stepping up now. It's their 2nd year now that they're chasing his City. Liverpool was only able to do it for 3 or 4 years to keep up with Man City like this. Does that not show good time and the league corner something wrong? Because the contenders now, they fall back down. They fall back down. Figure now at the end of the season, Pep has won it again. What does that say about the league itself then? And can it be fixed?
Yeah, I think EPL has been trying to avoid a situation where they will have one big elephant that is dominating the whole league. with these rules of FIFA fair play, financial fair play, sorry, and this one that we sign a spending limit. So they are trying to manage that situation. That is why you see Newcastle is owned by the billionaires, the richest family in EPL, the richest owners are with Newcastle, but they can't spend their money because of these rules. So they're trying to avoid that situation, So when it comes to this competition or the pie Manchester City is setting, just that Women's City, it's a very good combination of a huge investment with a very good coach, the best coach currently in the whole world. So they've got that leverage, and also he gives them experience as years goes by. Their players gains experience of knowing how to win the league. Because Manchester City were not supposed to win the league this season if Arsenal had matured enough to not lose that game against Aston Villa. Because that's where they lost the league, Arsenal, against Aston Villa. And with Manchester City seeing 7 games remaining and we're still losing against Aston Villa, they will laugh at you. They will say, okay, now we are taking you. Because, remember when we were looking at the last remaining 10 games, we were like, oh, Manchester City is going to win this league. Because if you look at them, they've got only one top team that they were still going to play, which was Tottenham. But the others, they sit in Manchester United, Liverpool and stuff. And we were like, they're moving it with this league because Arsenal lost a very crucial game. So these teams are money now. I believe with Arsenal is going to win the league. Remember, they moved from 86 points to 89 points now. So each and every year they are improving and they keep on improving their squad. And trust me, next season they might win the league, because Arsenal has adopted the style of saying of consistency and sticking with one coach and trusting the ideas and giving him that power of buying his own players that are going to improve the team and give him that authority with dressing room. Because when it comes to Manchester City, the player knows what Pep Guardiola is the main boss here. Pep Guardiola is the main boss. So if ever I'm a problem, I'm the one who's going to leave. And it's the same thing that has happened to Arsenal now. Unlike Man U, where a player still has a high voice than a coach. So the project, Pep Guardiola with Manchester City, now with Arsenal now, the project, Arteta, that is why you see this result. And trust me, next season, they're going to challenge. It's just that experience. As Manchester City wins, the players gain experience. They know how to win these crucial games. So that the own advantage now, which Arsenal is still gaining, and over time in next 2 years, there will be a superpower like Manchester City. It will be just divided with 2 points or 1 point.
No, I'm going to come back and Tozake. Let me bring in the T-Man. T-Man, welcome to the show. How are you? T-Man, is the EPL still exciting? Mawuyibukele nje i-league.
Kakhulu.
Okay.
Kakhulu. Kumina is one of the best league in the world. Emhlabeni wonke iyona league engicabanga ukuthi ibukwa kakhulu, if I'm not mistaken. Why ngisho njalo? I-league, the way Manchester City every season iwina ngakhona, isenza ukuthi yonke njengale game kade beyidlala nje leyogcina bazawulile, wonke umuntu bebukele igame ukuthi ufuna ukubona ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani, because i-Arsenal bedlala ngala, i-Man City bedlala ngala. Yona eyenza ukuthi i-league ibe mnandi, because alikho iqembu elikhulu e-England as much ekhona, but alikho iqembu elikhulu e-England because konke amaqembu ayafayitha ukuthi, you understand. So mina ngisayibona njengeleague enkulu, angifuni ukuthi ngithi kunezinto ezenzakalayo kwi-league yakhona njengala e-South Africa nje, namanye ama-league France whatsoever kube yi-team eyodwa win i-league every day, every year. But i-Man City, let's not take it away from Pep Guardiola. He's the best coach. Yeah, he's the best coach. Angifuni ukuthi kunezinto ezenzakalayo mhlawumbe ngale behind the scenes mhlawumbe ezenza ukuthi Man City win i-league every year. Pep is the best coach because ukwenze kuma-countries ahlukene lokhu akwenzayo njengamanje. So uyazi kunento eyenziwa Pep engicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe uRulani njengoba kuhlale kuthiwa ukopola kuPep ngempela baqinisile, kunomdlalo okuthiwa uJohn Stone if I'm not mistaken but kanjalo u-35
Yeah.
lo mdlali akekho abema-understand uthathwe bedlalela i-Everton wajoyina iMan City.
Yeah.
Akekho umuntu obemcabanga ukuthi angaba umdlali ngale ndlela adlale ngayo ama-season past 2 seasons ubedlala ibhola eli-top kuleya position afake uPep. So uma ubuka uPep indlela abhelieve ngayo kubadlali bakhe nendlela adlalisa ngayo abadlali bakhe iyakukhombisa ukuthi uPep is the best coach. That's why iMan City ikhona ukuthi iwine ama-games fancy or ugly. Lo coach is not about coach ukuthi lo mdlali lo angeke aze akwazi ukudlala kule game. Coach othi mefaka umdlali ngiyakholelwa ngomdlali uzongwinela ama-games.
Yeah.
Ngiyakholelwa ngomdlali uzongwinela ama-games. Ngicabanga ukuthi that's why iMan City iwu-best e-England because coach is not about ukuthi i-team ithenga abadlali abawo-best nani nani. Uyakwazi uKhabochichi umthenge kwi-Chelsea besingama-understand ukuthi umthenga kanjani ngoba besingamboni kwi-Chelsea as much manje simbona ku-Man City. uKyle Walker omunye wabadlali engicabanga ukuthi abanye babadlali ababalekile kwi-Man City abenza i-Man City idlale ngale ndlela ongeke uzuyi-understand because uPep uzo-confuse.
Yeah.
Where asetha ngayo ischeme kwesinye isikhathi kune-game la akhiphe khona ugoalkeeper kudlalwa ne-Tottenham Tottenham akhiphe ugoalkeeper number 1 wafaka ugoalkeeper ngicabanga ukuthi is the second choice ugoalkeeper wakhe. Mina I'm a Man City supporter party I was much little bit angry ukuthi wayakhiphe lo goalkeeper ngoba yena goalkeeper ngimthembayo. But lo goalkeeper ungenile ufike wadlala kulo 10 minutes or 20 minutes amfaka 15 minutes I'm not so sure what bengikhathina. But because uPep is a coach obelievelayo kubadlali bakhe abadlali bakhe uyakholelwa kubona.
So then I just want to ask then, I guess then you understand that from the point of view of looking at Man City. But then when you look at the rest of the league, throughout this Katsaka Pep, there hasn't been anybody that's been able to consistently challenge in Manchester City all the way. In Liverpool Azama for those years, then they couldn't do it anymore. Arsenal now, it's the second year they've been chasing Man City. Do we still say that it's competitive there? And also, Maspegala, number 4 going down. I want to almost 68 points. They're very far away from the top guys. And every season, Guanjalo. Is it still exciting or is it still competitive? Is it still everything we say when we look at the stats and sport a good time, man? Ngachilana. Man City, lababanye.
Yeah, kulelo point olushoyo that's true. But ngicabanga ukuthi kunalento yokuthi nama-level yama-team ama-owners ama-teams. iMan City owner abantu abanemali. Loko ngeke ngakho. I-owner abantu abanemali abakhonayo ukuthi baye pound to pound every player abayibonayo ukuthi i-quality bakwazi ukuyithenga. So njengama-team amancane angakhoni mhlawumbe ukuthi anga-ownwa abantu abanemali. Mhlawumbe somewhere somehow like baya strugglisha ukuthi bakhole ukudila ne-team enjengeMan City because uHaaland is one of the top player othengwe ngemali enkulu. So ama-team amancane kuzoba nzima ukuthi bangasayinisa uHaaland. Njengalo coach weBrighton, ucoach weBrighton is the best coach. Coach engicabanga ukuthi if engacoach one of the big team singambona more kunalokho simbona kona kwiBrighton. So iMan City, to be honest, you can't compare namanye ama-team akhona njengamanje kwi-league yase-England because of bayaspenda bayakhona ukuthenga noma ngabe umdlali Njengamanje ngicabanga ukuba kuyilento ukuthi baspende kangakanani per season. Ngicabanga ukuthi kade kukhuluma indaba zayo
Yeah,
siyayithola
the case
kancane.
is still, yeah.
Yes. Ngicabanga ukuthi nako lokho kuyi-advantage kuyona ukuthi iyakhona ukuthenga noma ngaphi umuntu umdlali bona bambona ewubest ukuthi angakhona ukuthi abawinele something njengabo uHaaland. Ngicabanga ukuthi uHaaland ukuze amlande ingoba ufuna ukuwina i-Champions League. And after efikile uHaaland ngempela kwi-first season kaHaaland yawina i-Champions League i-Man City. This shows ukuthi nemali somewhere somehow iyasebenza kwi-football as a whole i-football yonke imali iyasebenza lapho. So mawubuka i-Newcastle uyayibona i-Newcastle after kunamanye ama-boss ayi-onayo, you can see last season ukuthi ikhonile nakungena kwi-Champions League.
Yeah.
Because ikwazi ukuthenga abadlali abanohlolo abazokhona ukuthi ba-compete nama-team. So but somehow but uyabona ukuthi isadinga more ukuthi ikwazi uyi-challenge. But ngibuye leli point le-Arsenal. I-Arsenal ayeke ukuthenga ama-reject, uthenga abadlali asebedlalela amanye ama-team abadala. Ayikhona uku-challenger abadlali kunalo mdlali we-Man City uDuke ayike kuyena nje ithi yamdinga. Iye lapha kwi-Barcelona ithathe lo mfana ogqoke u-7 lo omncane ophuma kwi-Barcelona. Abadlali abasafuna udumo ibalethe ethimini. Nangu Mbappe ispende ukuthi akayi Madrid imthenge imlethe kuyona. Izoyiwina i-league and it'll be maybe next year it'll be the final of Champions League. Ngicabanga ukuthi Arsenal ithenga labadlali laba asebevela abanye babo sebe-achievile emathimini abo abangeke basakunikeza 100%.
Yeah.
You understand? Ngicabanga ukuthi kusala lapho kancane but ubona ukuthi i-Arsenal ishawa experience last end.
Timen, for time. Iting fagu G-Man. G-Man, G-Man, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good evening, George. Good evening, panelists. Good evening, viewers. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
No problem. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
No, welcome to the family. The question is very simple. Is the EPL still exciting?
Absolutely, bro. I think not that I think I know actually, because of you look at this season alone. Yes, City have won the league 4 times in a row, and Pep has done it 7 times. But you look at this season alone. I mean, it went to the last day, and at some point you had like 3 teams that fought for the league. You look at other teams below. Yes, they're not competing as much as a City or an Arsenal or Liverpool would, but you look at a Villa, for instance, and how they have improved this season. At some point, you had Tottenham, a team that, regularly, they don't compete as much as they should, but they were playing exciting football. Then you go below, you look at a Burnley, that although they're relegated, but they still played a good brand of exciting football under Vincent Kompany. So I think really it's an exciting thing to watch. I mean, what league is exciting around the world aside from the EPL?
So, but G-Man, can I ask you, is it to do with is it to do with marketing? Is it to do with narratives? Because, for example, the Aston Villa narrative, I could probably spin it to Skukune. Skukune United here in South Africa, who's going to the Confed out of nowhere. They finished number 4, if I'm not mistaken. You have a Stellenbosch that has done this. We don't attribute the same things to similar situations. How much of this is the narratives that are built around the EPL?
Look, Josh, for me, I don't look when I look at football and I look at how I judge it. I don't really look at things like marketing. For me, it's the football side of things and what's done on the field of play. For instance, the quality of goals that you would see in the EPL. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like this season, the second top goal scorer, Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
This is his first full season in the EPL. and he gets to score more than 20 goals. You don't see that here in South Africa. You don't see that in many leagues. A player like Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa, he's one of the top goal scorers. Dominic Solanke for Bournemouth, 19 goals. We're talking players that are in the region of 20 goals, and those are 5 players. So how's that not exciting? How's that not appetizing to watch? So you have to look at those things instead of looking at what the marketing side of things or the commercial side of things. For me, I just look at what's done on the field, and that's what makes it exciting.
So for those who are saying that maybe it's not very exciting, let's say, on a separate point, for those who are saying it's not that exciting, if we look at the teams that are dominating football around the world right now, I can point to a Sundowns, I can point to a City. How much of it maybe is that some people remember the good old days when, there were shibobos in South African football, there was Spaitus, they were doing those type of things. In England, you had your Henrys and all of those guys who were pretty skillful and whatever. And a lot of that is now being substituted for system game, which is far more tactical, far more precise. Does that maybe factor into how some people view the game, sort of like back in my day type of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, you just mentioned the times of Thierry Henry, and those times were times when Arsenal were competing with Man United, for instance.
Yeah.
And that's what made the league so exciting, and that's what, for me personally, that's what attracted me to English football, because that's when I grew up. Looking at teams like Arsenal, Man United, and then at a later stage, Chelsea also came when Roman Abramovich came and Jose Mourinho became the coach. So when you look at the good old days, yes, they were competing, but look at now, yes, in terms of winning the league alone, you don't find that competitiveness. But also at the same time, you look at the rest of the teams and other teams, how they're improving season in and season out. You have to look at that and say, listen, this is an exciting thing, and it's good, and it's also good for football. If we're being honest, you can't just have a certain group of teams, whether they have money, dominate. You also need your Leicester Cities to go and win the league, even though they don't have money. You need an Aston Villa to qualify for top 4, even though they don't have the money. So you just have to look at it in that way. Football has changed as well. Football has changed as well. So we can't just look at the good old days and judge it from there. You just have to accept the fact that sometimes it can change.
Okay, G-Man, I'm gonna come back. Stay on. Let me go to Pat. Pat, welcome to the show. How are you? Sharp, Pat. How are you doing?
I'm not sure if it's my network or your network. Can you hear me?
You sound better now. I can hear you now. Can you hear me, Pat?
Jordan. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Pat, headline question. Is the EPL still exciting?
It's still exciting, Yana, not like before one. And I think one of the reasons is this introduction of VAR.
Ow.
This thing has chilled emotions, and even now lately they are not getting it right perfectly, but that thing, I mean, even before the matches, there used to be press conference after the match. I mean, that's where you could see the excitement of football. So the other issue again is like they don't have coaches like Mourinho. Mourinho used to be like a mastermind. I mean, if he played against City, he would just pack the bus,
Yeah.
So another thing is also quality strikers, Even though we have Haaland and Palmer and other, they are not as good as those like Henry and Aguero and So if maybe Man United and Chelsea can build up quickly, then maybe it can be exciting. Yeah.
Oh, Maraprapet, you see, King, there's records being broken every single day. There's all of that stuff. Surely that makes it exciting, man. 98 points the other year. This year it ended 2 points between number 1 and number 2. Isn't that exciting, though?
You know, Pep, it's about collecting points. Because even though they say he's the best coach, but I still have to test this thing like coaching a small team, bring it up to the top. Like the guy who took Leicester City to the top for the first year, because Pep is also coaching big teams. Spain he coached Barcelona, he coached Bayern, and is Man City. Those teams were already developed.
Yeah.
So I still have to see him coming up with I don't know after next year where is he going, but I still have to see him building up a team like that. Yeah.
Okay, Pat. Let me bring in King Nati. King Nati, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, how's it, my guy?
I'm good at you, my bro.
Bruh, you know what? Living life.
Here's the headline question. Is it still exciting? This EPL.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely exciting. Looking at the top 5.
Okay.
Am I stuttering on your side or?
No, you're perfect. We hear you perfectly.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me continue talking. Looking at the top 5 leagues, guys, I'm looking at points, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid has 95. Né?
Yeah.
Inter Milan has 94. Man City has 91. PSV has 91. And they scored more goals in their league. Bayer Leverkusen is 90 points. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
PSG has 76 points. Guys, who said the Premier League is boring? Because looking at the stats, the top 6 leagues in the world, I just said their stats. Final points. The one thing every team is judged on. And Manchester City is what? Is third. In that running. Like I'm confused. I'm looking at the statistics and each and every single team in their league. Okay, perfect, fine. Borussia Dortmund is in the Champions League final, by the way. I don't remember saying Borussia Dortmund because they didn't reach 90 points. But then, no, let's continue the conversation.
Yeah. Well, before we do, why then are those other leagues viewed as farmers' leagues and the English Premiership not viewed that way? If it's ending the same way, all of them have got the 90s, there's probably a big gap between number 3 and number 4. It probably all look the same. Why then is the English Premiership viewed as the most exciting top league, whereas these other ones, the same stats
I will tell you what.
on the surface, but then they don't have the same, they have this farmer's tag.
No, the farmers' tag started from the English Premier League, where they said other leagues are farmers because one team keeps on winning the league.
Yeah.
What Man City did is prove the opposite, is that, hey, we can do this on your own turf. So all the fans that you will hear saying that, the Premier League is the farmers' league now. It's not because the Premier League is a farmers' league. It's because the Premier League was competitive, but then their teams are no longer competitive. And now Man City is dominating the league. Hence, a flashback from all the other leagues. Like, look at your own house, check your own carpets, look at your own cupboards, check what is in there, and then come back and talk to us. Simple. It's one of those things where there's like, yeah, you know what? The neighbor's dog is aggressive. My dog will never be aggressive. And then the moment your dog gets a way to, slide through or slide out the gate and chase people, and now people are telling you that your dog is aggressive, and you're like, no, my dog is a sweetheart. But then it does it the second time, and you're like, okay. Maybe I have a problem, because you're always complaining about the neighbor and not looking at your own house. Like, a lot of people do not look at their own houses. It's really that simple. They do not look at their own houses, and then they blame the neighbor. And the neighbor has got his stuff covered. Then,
So then, in a separate point,
what it is.
in a separate question, I want to ask you, how much of this is also just, older gents, older people who have consumed football a certain way? So the football we used to be, on the fly, people doing weird things, Thierry Henry flicking up a ball in jail and kicking it into a corner, doing all of those type of things. And now we are watching a lot more systematized football. And it might be a little bit boring, quote unquote, for people who are used to watching a different type of football. How much of that comes into play here?
You know what? That's my favorite question. You see, with this football that we are playing, there is no player that is greater than the team. We win as a team, we lose as a team.
Yeah.
Perfectly. You look at someone like Jeremy Doku. He comes in, he tries to dribble the living heck out of somebody. And that brings life, it brings something new. And I think that's what Guardiola was trying to reframe, because remember, he came from Ronaldinho and he stopped it right there. He's like, no. The only player that got to do that was Messi.
Yeah.
Every player has to play for the team. Messi was the main guy. Everybody knows the Guardiola days in Barcelona. And now we have Grealish. Grealish was a player who took on players like, you know what, now it's time. Now this is what I'm paid for. But Grealish was, when he came in, he was, just pass the ball, control possession.
Yeah.
Doku is a different type of player. Doku is he could be like, the second Vinicius Jr. But then he doesn't get all of that freedom. He gets part of that freedom. That's why when he comes in off the bench, he is exciting. He's like a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, cool, I get to look at something now. It's like, that's showboating. That's what has been missing from football, and that is what Guardiola has had from Messi. But then Guardiola never intended to create another player like Messi. And it is fact how Jeremy Doku plays, because he gets the ball now, he passes. And he gets the ball next, he dribbles,
doesn't
and
that
then
make
passes.
it robotic? Doesn't that make it, man, sibukela ama-robot?
No, that's Erling Haaland. That's Erling Haaland right there.
Yeah.
It's like, you get the ball there, my guy. You only have one place. Like, sharp,
Okay.
It's a perfect balance. It's like, you get like, when you go to a theme park, and you see clowns, and then you see those oaks who wear like, and they're very tall, and it's part of the experience. It's part of the experience.
Okay.
I think there's somebody else talking.
No, it's just us. But I'm gonna come back, King Nati. Let me bring in Utebza. Tebza, welcome to the show.
So how's it, duty?
Hey, Tebza, I'm fighting. Debza, tell me, clear question. Is the EPL still exciting?
It's a 50-50 question, I think, because now for it to be exciting, there has to be more teams competing again. You understand? Back then, there were more teams competing for the league. But then now, I was telling this other friend of mine that, I mean, for this league to be entertaining as back then, and for other teams to also have a chance of winning it, they should the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, and others should come to the party again and be competitive. You look at the last games, where it was a two-horse race between Arsenal and Man United and Man City. You could see that Man City was not going to lose any match there.
Yeah.
It's disappointing because now, but then you had a feel that maybe Arsenal can drop something there. But then with other teams, you can see that there's no way they can challenge Manchester City. So that's what makes it less interesting right now. It's becoming a farmers league, honestly, because now it's only week year in year out. It's only one team that's challenging Man City. It's, back then it was Liverpool. Now it's Arsenal. Liverpool now it's tracking back. You understand? There's no consistent team. That teams there should be teams, consistent teams that are competing, just like back then when we used to have the traditional top fours, where we know where it won't be just a walkover playing that other team. You know where anything can happen there. You understand? So as of now, you know where Man City, when it goes to Old Trafford, it will be just a walkover. It goes to Stamford Bridge, walkover. White Hart Lane, walkover. You understand? So it's not supposed to be like that. For other teams to have a chance of winning the league must have at least 4 strong teams that can win the league, that will disturb each other from winning the league. Then it will be interesting.
Do you also maybe think that is what maybe stops the other teams from wanting to be quote-unquote competitive? Because you, as an Aston Villa, to try get to 80 points, 85 points, 90 points, that's where I need to go and compete at. Is it a place where it's unrealistic for most teams, so therefore they sort of check out? It's unrealistic, Guti. I can expect my team to only lose 3 games the whole season. Are we facing that type of thing? Excuse me.
Yeah, we are facing that type of thing because now you look at how Manchester United fans are celebrating because they won the FA Cup, and they are mocking Arsenal fans for finishing second. You know that it means their standards have dropped. They're saying I would rather win the FA Cup because we know we're not going to win the league. You understand? Yeah. They can't reach those levels. You understand? Because they don't have that type of a coach that can make them to reach that levels. You understand? They don't have that type of a coach. It's not a matter of money. Money aside, they've spent a lot of money as well. Teams have been spending money. Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, they've been spending money. But then the level of Manchester City, it's not only about money. It's also about the coaching. You understand? So money aside, money is out of the question in this instance. So now, I agree with you. Teams have checked out on winning the league. They've just accepted that if for as long as Pep is here, he's going to win the league. You understand? So they look at elsewhere winning the FA Cup, just qualifying for the top 4 so that they can play the Champions League. Maybe they might win the Champions League because it's possible. Look at where Dortmund is now. They can easily beat Real Madrid 1-0 and win the Champions League. They've done it with Chelsea, with Tuchel. They went to win the Champions League when they were not playing a great football. Understand? So they check out of the league because they know what
we are not getting 100 points because that's the requirement. To be honest, you have if you're going to beat Pep, you have to get 100 points. So they know that we're not going to do that. We don't have the coach that can compete with that guy. After that guy leaves, now the expectations of the coaches will be higher after that guy leaves. But for now, they seem like we understand it's Pep.
Separate question. Is part of why people are saying football in general is boring that we no longer have quote unquote personalities, we no longer have skill plays, and we no longer have those things that are decided. When somebody decides a game just because they ran out of position to the other side. How it used to be. Is that maybe what plays into it?
Taking responsibility when you see that your team is struggling and you start making your own decisions in the field. No man, I'm going to do this. I know the coach said 1, 2, 3, but then I am the key man here, so therefore I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 because when you're in the field, it is you the player that feels something in the field. Or no man, if I can do this, I can affect the game in this way. So the thing is,
is it something that maybe is making some viewers of football go, it feels like I'm watching an equation. It's very good, they're scoring, mara aina excitement.
The excitement is gone because now we see coaches wanting to replicate what Pep is applying in his teams. You understand? Which is boring, actually, because we need to see different kinds of football. That's why football is exciting. I respect Carlo Ancelotti. He has never tried to implicate Pep Guardiola in his playing style and all that. He once said that, I give instructions when it comes to defending. But then attacking wise, I trust my players that they understand what they need to do to win the game. Meaning he allows the legs of Vinicius to make a plan for him. Allows the legs of Rodrigo to make plans to score goals. He trusts them that they would create a combination amongst each other to click and make those individual brilliance and pretty good combinations to make goals. So he sticks to that and it works. It works. He's winning trophies. He gets to cup finals. You understand? He's recently beat Pep. I think he's beaten him twice now in the Champions League. A year before last and this year. You understand? He has beaten him. And that shows that System Pep is not the only one that can win new trophies, or it's not the only one that is exciting. We tend to think the way Pep plays, it is the only way that football has to be played. That's proper football. Hoofing the ball forward is not playing football. No, it's also a tactic. If you apply it correctly and it would work, it can be exciting. We have watched Manchester United play like that, even though they had the Cristiano Ronaldos of this world. They would take the ball, hoof it forward, and then they would start playing on the opposition half. You understand?
Yeah.
This thing, position football, more hotly. They wanna know because of now they wanna do it more. It was there, Cabo Venga, but then they didn't wanna copy that. They applied their own ways of playing football. That's why Premier League was exciting back then, because you'd find different type of play. You'd find the Mourinho style, say Alex style, Wenger style. You understand?
Okay.
And all those type of styles. So now they wanna. I've watched Brighton, my man. They were supposed to disturb City. We understand. You find them knocking the ball in the 6 yard. Can you do that against that high pressing Manchester City? You know that your players don't have that high quality of maintaining the ball in their 6 yard west part, in their 6 yard, trying to play in their 6 yard out of the defense.
Okay.
They ended up taking the ball there and then they scored. How do you do that? That's suicidal. You
you have to know already the player that's how the quality to apply that thing. You don't do that.
Debza, for time, I'm gonna come back. Let me go to Mohale. Mohale, I'm gonna ask you two questions very, very quickly. I need to be very quick on this one. What is your what team do you support, and how do you feel about where your team's status is right now, where you're sitting there in the EPL?
Now you are very personal, man.
Yes, let's go.
I'm a Man U fan. I'm a Man U fan. So. Yeah, so as we all, now there's a lot going on. You know. The funny part is that Man U has enough money and enough room to what is it? Manipulate financial fair play, right? But it doesn't have proper structures. Yeah, so that's why now you see the what is it, the Ineos group taking over and trying to do all those things, but to be honest, it's a mess because they can't do anything even now. So yeah, you might be writing off another season as well because of the financial state that we are in now, because of what happened. Buying Maguire 80 million, buying Anthony 84 million, those kind of stuff. It was useless and they were not worthy of that money. Yeah.
Don't you trust Jim? Why don't you trust the Jim in them?
Yeah, I trust the Jim. I mean, like he's a billionaire for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I trust the process, but it's gonna take some time. Not 2 years. It might not be 2 years. It might not be a year, but longer than that. And then one thing that I'm angry with is that Ten Hag might lose his job during that period. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you that. Do you give Ten Hag? Is Ten Hag the coach that's going to bring back the glory days, or is he just holding the steering wheel up until you can get yourselves a proper big coach?
That's a bit tricky, right? You might find that Ten Hag is a man before the man, was that guy who was coaching Liverpool? Is it Rodgers or someone?
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Is the one who started the transformation at Liverpool. So, yes. So he might be that, but I believe that Ten Hag is a very good coach. I mean, like if he, there were rumors that he's going to Bayern. I think if he went to Bayern, he was going to do wonders there. I mean, if you checked his tactics really well, you would see that man has minds. But you never know. It's football.
Okay. Ntozake, favor Ningali Ntozake, and tell me what do you think about your team right now? What is your status update? How do you feel about them at this point?
I'm a very big supporter of Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, growing up, when you support football, you listen to the noise of saying which team is the big team, then you follow people on that route and you don't understand the values and principles of that team. It's like we politics in Joburg for which one, ANC, soccer is like ANC, but you don't understand the founding manifesto and why people are voting for ANC. So after watching football a lot, I decided that no, Tottenham is a very good team, playing exciting football, and they win the games and whatever that they win based on what they have or on their player recruitment and stuff. They don't win because of money and stuff. It's one of the teams which top 6 it's owned by the billionaires, because even Arsenal it's owned by the billionaires, these guys from America. So it's one of those teams, and the problem is that after that season when they were building their stadium and now they were free to buy players. Hey man, the recruitment was bad of Mourinho and this guy Conte. They went further backwards, and the Pochettino had lifted us to the top. So now with this coach, that is why everyone is saying Tottenham is playing the most exciting football. With this coach, you can see that with a very good depth of squad and the hang on the players, Tottenham is going to end the draft. I mean, this trophyless decade and whatsoever. Trophy. But the trophy is coming. And when you watch Tottenham, you get that joy, man. That team brings you joy how they play, especially under the tenure of this coach, the new coach. They playing exciting football. But last year, Mr. OT, you know, khona ipoint engifuna ukudlula kulo fast and show Mr. Tobo ukuthi EPL is becoming boring now because they're copying the La Liga style of being more tactical. They're playing tactical football now because, you know, tactical football is Spanish football. That is tactical football. That is why you see now even most teams with EPL, they are employing coaches from Spain. You look at from the top to the bottom, there are more Spanish coaches than than English coaches. Why? Because they want to play more tactical football more than talented football. And we know who Guardiola is the most tactical coach in the world, best tactical coach in the world. And that is why the only time he played with talent is what it was during Abu Messi time. Yeah, it was Messi and Iniesta and Xavi. That way he played with talented footballers. But from there, he has never played because even we, Bayern, he suffered because about Robben, about Ribéry, all these guys, they were not tactical gifted, but they were talented. You see, even with Manchester City, my figure, all these talented guys, Yosane, everyone buying Puma because he won more tactical people than talented people. So if we talent and letting players express themselves like how Real Madrid plays and how Zidane used to play, you know, Zidane would just put you in a position and say, play as your talent, you know. He's not coach when to move or how to move. So if they can fix that, then to go back to the top. But with my Tottenham, let's push, let's trust to aim, and then maybe top 4. Then from top 4, we challenge the league again through good investment.
Hey, but I like to post Koglu. I liked him. Marai ngati kona lawe let go, but it's fine. We'll talk about it on another day. Let me go to G-Man. G-Man, who do you support? And what is your status of your team? How do you feel about your team?
Yo, I was hoping that you won't ask me this question. But anyway, I'll go ahead. I'm a Chelsea supporter, man. I'm a Chelsea supporter. It's been a terrible 3 years under the new ownership.
Yeah.
Last season sums it up pretty well. So we bring in a coach who seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. Then towards the end of the season, he wins 5 games, and then we start to believe in him. So it's tough, man. It's tough. Now we are bringing in a coach that comes from the championship. He won the championship, actually. I don't know him. I don't know what he can do. But apparently he's a Pep Guardiola graduate. He was one of his assistants. So hopefully we'll see some nice football there. But yeah, man, in terms of player recruitments, look, it's been also been a bit mediocre. We've been signing a lot of young players, no experience. We've just lost an experienced player, one of the best defenders I've ever seen, Thiago Silva. So hopefully this transfer window will go for some experience. If not, just get some quality in. And look, I'm not saying we're going to win the league next season. We're far from that. But hopefully a top 4 and maybe a domestic cup that should make us happy.
I see Bowley has taken a step back there by you guys. Do you trust your management? Because I feel like one of the things that happened over by you guys was when Bowley and his people took over, they took apart your structure so carelessly. You know, you can speak about what's her name, Maria Karinovska, all of those people. Do you trust that this management will be able to put it together, or are they just, you know, walking around in the dark?
Well, I mean, you talk about what they did. I mean, they came into Chelsea when Chelsea had an elite manager. You know, they had Thomas Tuchel. They got rid of him, brought in Graham Potter, and then things didn't work out. And Frank Lampard as an assistant coach, and of course Pochettino, and then things didn't work out. And obviously, those things, man, you are skeptical when they start making those kind of decisions. Even with player recruitment, I've just mentioned the fact that they sign so many young players. You know, you need experience, especially in such a high level where you play against experienced players. And then you just, I mean, what they're basically doing is the opposite of what Roman Abramovich used to do, you know, aside from firing coaches. You know, with Roman, you would be assured that he would sign experienced players, proven players. With this Todd Bowley and Iqbali and whoever's in clear what is it? What are they called? Clear Lake. I think that it's just been a mess. It's just been a mess, and you get to ask questions. But going into this season, obviously, if things don't work out with the manager, the blame should be on them because they are the ones that brought in this guy. I think he's going to sign a 5-year contract again, so the blame should be on them. I mean, you can imagine. So definitely this season, all eyes, the pressure will be on them. If the team don't perform as much as they should be, the pressure will be on them, and of course the fan base, they're going to improve.
Okay, G-Man, thank you so much for joining me. Let me go to Pat. Pat, which team do you support that side? And what do you think about your team right now?
It's Liverpool, but I don't know next season what's going to happen because of the new coach and also who's going and who's coming in. Because in the past we used to have good players like Coutinho, Mane. Since Mane left, it was a downfall of Klopp because they could not replace Mane. We had Nunes who was missing chances. I mean, two months back, we were excited that we're gonna win the league, but somehow our strikers let us down. So I'm just worried if we will be able to qualify for Champions League next season, because even if Van Dijk goes, who's going to replace him? If Salah goes, who's going to replace him? So it's a lot of questions, like the new coach, whom is he coming with, and what you going to be left with? I mean, even if you check, Liverpool plays very well if they have a skipper. Since Anderson left, is it Henderson? Fabinho left. That gap in the middle there is still there. I mean, we don't have that kind of midfielder. So we'll just have to see what the new coach comes up with. Yeah.
So then, don't you think it's going to be a nice time for Uslod? Maybe he comes in, maybe get rid of Van Dijk and all of those guys and start the team afresh, sort of. Do you think that would be a smart move? Or does they need to keep those old guys around as well? Maybe give them a year or two.
If he can keep about 60% of them, and then he can check which one he will need for the next season, then I think it will be, but especially the experienced one, because at the moment I've noticed that Klopp has brought lots of new players, especially youth ones. They're getting more. So those ones, they will need to have experienced players along, so that they can also become experienced, and then maybe the following year he can go shopping big time. But I don't think it will be wise if he can get really players who are very experienced there.
Okay, Pat. Thank you. Guys, I'm zooming through this because of time. King Nati, tell me about your team and what do you think of them right now?
My team, Man City, we just won the league, going for 5 in a row, which is going to be hilarious because it's going to piss off a lot of people. Like you know what? I would be there. Yeah. But then, with what everybody is saying, complaining about their managers and trying to, find reasons to keep their managers and whatnot. All I have to say is this, guys. In football, there's money. Money is money at the end of the day. We have seen money being spent. And my team has spent money. Other teams have spent more money. And I'm not bashing other teams. All I'm saying is my team has brought footballers that nobody knows. Look at Bernardo Silva. Everybody was like, there is David Silva. There is Bernardo Silva now. you know what? They're gonna play together. It's gonna be nice. Huh? Riyad Mahrez, why are they signing? It's a status sign. Jack Grealish, why are they signing Jack Grealish? Record transfer, Jack Grealish. You know what? He's gonna tackle people, or he's going to, dribble everybody. But look at how it turned out. Jeremy Doku is like, dribbling and going in at everybody. Jack Grealish is the one that is getting tackled, and it goes against the norm. Why is it going against the norm?
Okay.
Jack Grealish is a status signing. He's like the David Beckham at Real Madrid. Like, the Englishman that will smile and just, be himself. And everybody is going to defend him because, no matter how many times he gets drunk during the celebrations, everybody is going to be like, That's my brother right there, for it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna burst everybody's bubble. Jack Grealish wasn't supposed to perform in the level that he did, but he did. But then, he's a status signing. He's that English boy, that's my brother right there in England. It's a marketing signing. 100 million. Nobody's gonna look at that after the treble. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Jeremy Doku brought in immediately the second year. And he's got some moves. But then, you know what, FA Cup final, nobody's talking about Onana because, no, he should have saved that. No, he should have saved that. He should have saved that, but then imagine if it was 2-2, like everybody would have been like, But then England, racism, low key, but then that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. That's it for
Yeah.
time's sake.
No. You see how this builds up in football.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, man? You know what? For example, man. For example,
Very quickly.
Pep Guardiola can leave the following season, man. 2025. Goodbye, Guardiola. Everybody is happy. You won the league, 5 in a row. But then, do you think that the leadership in the club will just say, we're just going to hire a Frank Lampard, or we're going to hire a coach that is not going to win us the league? No, we're going to press. You see that the Premier League is feeling, the wound that the Premier League is feeling. We're going to press on that body. And we're not going to press it. We're just going to make it more painful.
Time. Hey, man, Natty, I'll see you, time. Let me bring you the tabs, eh? Hey, Natty, let me bring you the tabs.
It's not going to be fun, my guy.
Man. Tabs,
Oti.
Tell me about your team, our team, and what you think about them right now.
Our team has to win a major trophy next season, Oti. It has to.
Yeah.
It's pressure time for Arteta now. He has to. But then I've seen they have to release some players there. A lot of players must leave. Deadwood players, the players that didn't play, you understand? The likes of Smith Rowe. I think we should cash in on them. Solanga was another value, so before they lose more value, I see there are a lot of teams looking at him. We must just cash in on him. And then Thomas Partey, let's just move away from him. We love, as much as we love him, we just have to move away from him because in crucial moments when we need him the most, he's always injured. Not to say he's playing bad, but then he's not there when we need him. So we have to move away from him. I see they're looking at Bruno Guimaraes. I'm not sure if he'll fit in, but then if they believe Allen Nagahan, I don't see him in our team, you understand? But then they must look harder because it's difficult to find a player that would fit in there where Partey was playing. It's a very crucial position as well. Hey? And then I see they wanna also bring in a striker, which is very crucial, which I believe is also the reason why we couldn't win the league this season because there are other games.
I said this a long time ago and people
we said it. We said it though. Yeah, we both said it when we need a striker and he brought Havertz. Yeah. Now you know how Arteta's how stubborn Arteta is. Like you look at the games that we lost, it's his fault, to be honest. The players played amazingly. Let's be honest. This is it. The players were amazing.
Yeah.
We lost the games because of Arteta's stubbornness of wanting to play Havertz in the middle of the park, where he saw that in many games that when he plays in the middle of the park, our midfield looks very weak. So he continued to force to play Havertz in the middle of the park, and he saw that when he plays him up front, at least our midfield is stacked and it's stable, strong. Then we can create more goals and score. So whenever he played him in the middle of the park, that's where we drop points. That's where we lost the league, when he played Havertz in the middle of the park. Yes, we lost Partey, but then at least Rice didn't make us feel that much that Partey was missing. The thing it was, he insisted on playing Havertz in the middle of the park. So we have to get a striker. We have to get a replacement for Thomas Partey, and then maybe he must try to retain Tierney as left back because we've been costed that side. I don't know why.
I think
Because
it's the way he was treated. I think it's the treatment.
yeah. So I don't know. He must sort it out. I know he's going to play Timber on that other side and White on this side, but then also we have to get a replacement for them, a cover for that side, because Zini has been costly defensively. Zini has been costly. So also we have to get someone who's gonna rest Saka. You saw how ineffective he was during the last matches of the league. He was not the Saka that we know, and we cannot blame him because the boy was tired. He didn't rest at all. So the boy was tired. He needed someone to help him on that side. When we were winning 3-0 OT, the boy was not substituted at all. He wasn't substituted even if we were winning comfortably because we didn't have someone to play there. So we must, maybe an Olise, I don't know, they'll decide. But then next season, he must get things sorted and we need a major trophy.
Do you think that other Arsenal fans feel that way? So do you think that Arteta is under any pressure? Because for me, when I speak to my fellow Arsenal fans, they tell me that no, time. They tell me that no, we'll win something. It's now year 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Is it
you're
year
right.
5, ne? It's
Yeah.
year 5, right?
We are going to year
So
5, yeah.
is he under real pressure, or is it just, we'd really love something, but if he doesn't win it, no one's gonna
No.
care?
He's under real pressure because remember we used to say at least we are seeing progress. We finished 8th, finished 6th, we got into top 4, we finished second. Now we need to another level. We keep improving. Now, what's the improvement for next season? You understand? We were second, then we got knocked out quarterfinal of the Champions League. Now it means the improvement must be if we improved in the Champions League, maybe we should get knocked out on the semis and we should win the league this side. You understand? Okay. That's the improvement. That's the continuity. Anything less than that, it means now he has reached his ultimate level of progress in Arsenal. Maybe we must look elsewhere. And also, OT, we must be careful. Yes, we can let him go. Who will come in? Who's another quality coach? Who's there? Who's out there? That's something that we should be careful of. Sometimes we might keep him just for the sake of keeping him because now there's no one now. But then as soon as there's someone, maybe we can release him and bring that someone. But then as for now, we cannot do that. We cannot take that risk of releasing him, then getting someone who's gonna take us out of the top 4 again. Understand?
Okay.
That's how I see it. I don't know how you see it.
I'll give my thoughts.
Okay, OT.
Thank you so much for joining me. Shout out to Lindo, Pep, Malibongwe, Malume Kutso, Mr. XO4. Thank you guys so much for the gifts that side. Malibongwe, please leave me alone. I have my post toilet literally in the kitchen right now. Okay, here's my thoughts. I'm an Arsenal fan. This season was incredible. Going down to the final day versus Manchester City is not something that a lot of people would believe would be possible. I've told you guys a lot that Arsenal is a very good team. All they need is that last bit of belief. I think next season is a time of reckoning. So we have to figure out whether we are going forward or whether we are going to stay exactly where we are. If you think about, think about guys like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he got to this point, Manchester United went, hey guys, we need somebody that's going to push the needle forward. And I think maybe this is part of the conversations we should be having about, if we don't win anything next year, right? And I feel like I mean the big things. So when I'm talking big, I want a league. I want the Champions League, right? If we don't get any of those things and we are 5 years, 6 years into the reign of a coach, he's done some incredible things, but can he take you over the line? That'll be the question. Can you get over the line, or are we trying to create another Arsene Wenger type situation? And Wenger, he won the league, but are we forcing to have this guy carry on, right? And coach forever, and coach without any pressure? I've always said that I want pressure at Arsenal. I wish we had pressure at Arsenal. Pressure doesn't mean you're going to get fired tomorrow, but pressure means that when you go out there, go out and win, and you can win our stuff, and we can go be happy out there. We know what we're aiming for. I still don't know what we are aiming for as Arsenal Football Club. I still don't. I'm not clear as to what is the priority. Is the league the priority? Is the Champions League the priority? These other cups, do we still play in them seriously? Manchester United has just won their second trophy under Ten Hag, for example. I know they're nowhere near what we're doing or whatever, but now Ten Hag has got 2 trophies in the time Mikel Arteta has the FA Cup. Does there come a time where you question him and say, okay, it's beautiful, we love it, but Swinanin? Similar to when Arsene Wenger was finishing off those mid to end years of Arsene Wenger, where the football was beautiful. It was fun to watch. It was exciting. It was all of that stuff. We go into the Champions League, but we knew last 16 of the Champions League, we get knocked out by whoever, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, whoever. You go into the league, when Leicester won, people forget, when Leicester won, we finished second, right? We've been top 4, we've done all of those things. Are we just going to be that perpetual club that is in and around and pats our backs a lot because we're doing so well and we look so good, but we don't necessarily know what is so winanini? Meanwhile, there's people who are refreshing clubs in a year, in 2 years, 3 years, are going out and winning trophies during that time. They hire and fire coaches, they bring in another one, he gets to work, 2 years, they've got their trophies, they go, Tina, we're still waiting for a long-term project. So I love what he's done. I just feel like, hey, my guy, there has to be a return at some point. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I have pushed through. My flu is still kicking my ass right now. But I am here. The show is on Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. And then Fridays at 12:30. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the Nedbank Cup, as well as speak about those two teams and how their seasons ended. So we'll give a chance just to speak about Mamelodi Sundowns winning the league, Pirates coming number 2, and then we'll also speak about them going into this Nedbank Cup final and how important it's going to be for either of those teams. I will also be here live for that match too. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they are available on YouTube in full. We have a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is an incredible, it's fun. We have the most incredible conversations there where we learn, we teach, we banter, we do all of those things. It's a great place if you really love football. Bolindo are there, Bo Malume Kutsa are there. A lot of the people you've heard are in that group, and there's 24/7. We go back and forth all day. Even if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and decide to put something up, it's fine, right? It's open. So they have access to that. To gain access, going over to YouTube, the Overthinking Football Show. Click on join, click on subscribe, click on join. In the members area, there's a link that takes you to the WhatsApp group, and you can have access to me and the other incredible football minds, football technocrats, as Ulindo puts it, where we have massive discussions. It's a great place to be. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to those that are on the panels. Thank you to those that commented. Thank you to those watching on YouTube too. It means a lot. Support us content creators, guys. I try post every single day. So support the content, support the videos we drop and things like that. When we have brand deals and whatever, it really does go a very long way. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye, guys. The Overthinking Football Show, guys. The Overthinking Football Show. That's what it's called. Thank you, G-Man. Thanks for joining.